Open Heaven and Happy New Year. Welcome to January's video update. You know, the start of a calendar year is always a great opportunity to look back and reflect on what God has done, and then look forward as to how we can join in even more with what He's doing. So, looking back on 2025, I can honestly say I have never known a year like it. I wrote the year 2025 in my Bible next to the passage in Isaiah 44, which says, I will pour water on the thirsty land and streams on the dry ground, and I will pour out my spirit on your offspring. Those were the verses that fueled the prayers of the Hebridean Awakening in 1949, which saw salvation breaking out, particularly amongst the younger generation. And it felt to me, all these years later, as though God was doing the same thing again. You know, we have something in Open Heaven called the Precious Document, which goes back to 1993 when Open Heaven started. And it tracks numbers of those who have become Christians or come back to God or got baptized. For the first 30 years of Open Heaven, the average was 7.3 salvations a year. And then from summer 24 to summer 25, it jumped up to 41. And then from September 25 to December 25, we're already at 30 new Christians in one term. Luke reflected to me recently, back in December, salvations during gatherings are now normal. Well, that's something that I haven't heard before. So God is doing something new, something tremendously exciting, and we're so grateful beyond words to God for what He is sovereignly doing. And so we now get to look forward to 26. We know, don't we, that everything in the kingdom of God is supposed to grow. Just check out any of the parables that Jesus tells about the kingdom, whether the mustard seed or the yeast. And with growth comes change. And as Christians, we live with the reality that change is here to stay. When we grow as individuals, which we're meant to, we change. And when we grow as a church, which we're meant to, we change. And so there are some important and really exciting changes coming up to let you know about, which we're going to share with you all at Vision Sunday, next Sunday, the 11th of January. And because we won't all be able to fit into St. Peter's, we will have two identical Vision Sunday gatherings at 2:30 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. both in St. Peter's. Vision Sunday is not to be missed, and particularly not to be missed this year. And then a week later, 18th of January, we again will have two Sunday gatherings, 2:30 and 4:30, Giving Sunday opportunities, both in St. Peter's, when we get to invest in all the life that God is bringing to us and help to make good things happen in our local community. For example, we're planning on our community grocery going from 2 days a week to 3 days a week. Now, most of you who come to what has been our morning expression Generations Together gathering will know that our friends at Elim, who we share the building with, have moved to the morning slot, and so our Generations Together expression is now meeting at 2:30 p.m. with all the same kids provision, all the same youth provision as we used to have in the morning. Now, we know that change will suit some more, perhaps those with teenagers or kids who play sport on a Sunday morning, and the change will suit some less. But we are asking that you just come on the journey with us. This is a chance to put community over convenience and purpose over preference. And then two last things about January. We are launching a new Alpha course on Monday, the 19th of January. You know, the last Alpha course was absolutely brilliant. We saw the most incredible transformations of people over the 8 weeks. I personally can't wait until this next one. And our church weekend away, which is the highlight of our year, is happening 30th of January to the 1st of February. It's called In Our Day, and it's all about awakening. You can still get your tickets from our website. And if the cost of the ticket is a problem and you want to come to our church weekend, just come and talk to us, because we always have some people who will buy an extra ticket for those who need one. So sign up for our weekend away, get your tickets, and we look forward to all God is going to do in this month of January.